Going on? What's going on, good people?
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing this evening? I am Lamar. That's my brother, Casey Fowler, the Fowl Language Podcast.
Yes, sir. Like every other episode, go and get your accessories right. Get the kiddies to bed. Get
That's
your
right. That's right.
headphones on, because you might just hear some foul language. So let's
Got
get it.
that right. Roll the intro.
Perfect.
All right, everybody and mama, we got our accessories tonight. It's time to get this thing going. So, brother, what do you have tonight to join us?
Well, man, I went with something new. Shout out to Black Line, James and them. Appreciate y'all every month, man, coming with the fire. So I got Alec and Bradley Kinsuchi. I think I said that right. I said it right.
Yeah, Kintsugi.
Kintsugi.
Yeah.
Switch.
Here we go.
Yeah, so far, man, it's not bad. It's a little snug right now. I feel like it's gonna open up as it burns some more. But nice little taste. It was kind of earthy on the first hit, but then kind of settled into what it's gonna be. So I'm really excited to see where this is going. And in the spirit of bringing something new to the podcast.
Oh, he done went to the fucking Scotch.
Yeah, I'm drinking on this guy right here.
I was hoping you were going to do a Japanese whiskey with the Japanese name. I couldn't
find a new one, bro. Couldn't find a new one. But I got that in there Scotch. Too. Yeah, so I said, you know what? Let me grab this bitch.
Motherfucker went fancy on it.
And it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Smooth as fuck. You know, I done had some scotches where I just couldn't take the smell. Some of them got that real strong ass smell I don't really care for. But that's pretty good. But with that, man, that's my accessories, man. What you got going on over there?
All right. So I was supposed to get something new this week, but I didn't make it. So Basil Hayden is making a repeat.
Okay.
It's a good little bourbon, so ain't no wrong with that. And then I was telling you before we got on, it's funny that you picked the cigar that you picked, because Alec and Bradley, that cigar is done by the son of the Alec Bradley head.
Oh, that's dope.
So you got the kids, I got the pappy. And I think this won Cigar of the Year 1 year, a few years ago, Prensado. Yeah, I think my cigar pack did a Alec Bradley brand takeover. So I got like 5 cigars from them. So that one's in the pack that you got. This one and a couple other ones. Magic Toast. I was going to smoke that one tonight, but
that
I decided
sounds awesome.
Yeah, I've had one before. It's pretty good. Damn Magic. And I had to tell you when I bring it out the story of Magic Toast. So I'll bring that out.
Can't wait to hear that one.
Yeah, it's not that serious, but it's fun. So that's what I got. Again, ladies and gentlemen, check in later on. We'll let you know how the accessories turn out for us.
Indeed. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's that part of the show where we like to kick it off with, something a little more positive, I guess upbeat, let you guys into our positive world, if you would. So, brother, we're gonna start with you, man. What's best in life?
Shit. So, it's an interesting week. I hired a new engineer. Don't know if they'll take the job given the current market and where they live, but I put the offer out there, so maybe they'll take it. Still couldn't hire a woman engineer. I've been trying to hire a woman engineer for 3 years.
Trying to balance it out.
Yeah, I have none on my team. And so I like that different perspective, because a woman engineer is just different. And I don't mean that in a bad way at all. It's a great thing. And I missed the last woman engineer I had on my team. She took a promotion, and I think DC. So, shout out to her doing big things. But yeah, so we'll see if he takes it, because again, none of my choices were a woman this time. So no. Oh well, maybe next time. So that was one thing. Last weekend I had like the cigar conversion weekend or something. I don't know what the hell to call it. So on Saturday night, I went to somebody's houses and we smoked some cigars. We was on some old man shit, listening to music in the garage, smoking cigars. Man, it was fun. It was fun as hell. But one of the guys, he doesn't really smoke cigars, but it's always fun when they get that cigar and like, oh, this shit is nice. I like this. I would do this regularly. Because that's what happened to your ass.
Yep.
So, and then Sunday, I went to another one of my homeboys' house, and it was like random. They had came by the house earlier to help out with some yard work shit. And we got talking about cigars because I knew he was trying to get into it. And I was like, hey, I got my little acrylic humidor. You can have that. So I gave it to him. He was like, we should smoke a cigar. I was like, bro, day and time.
Speaking my language.
I was like, it don't matter when. He was like, how about today? I was like, let me eat some dinner and bet. So ate dinner, went over there. We were chopping it up, smoking cigars, messed around, and left at like 2:00 on a school night. I was like, oh shit, I gotta go.
It was a grown man.
Real shit. Man, like it was funny. I was sleepy for like the next 2 days too. But again, another situation where I gave him one of my cigars, and he was like, I smoked some cigars before, but yo, wow. So to Black Lion and My Cigar Pack and all the other cigar folks out there, Cigar International, I at least got 2 people that's going to be getting y'all business in the near future. Shout out to me, damn it. So
shout out to you, bro. Putting the boys on.
Yeah, that's right. So got some new cigar smokers. So that's always good to bring people into the fold so they can appreciate this hobby, lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. So I will let you elaborate a little more on it. We have a group family text going on. And it was kind of fun today because we took that text and instead of texting, everybody got on the phone. So I'll let you talk about that because I'm sure that was going to be in your What's Best too, because that shit was fun. So for me, I don't think I have a whole bunch left. For me, that's What's Best.
Hey, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Good shit. Good work week.
Oh, what about you?
Shit. Oh, me? Little old me? Oh, why? Thank you, sir.
Oh, my pleasure.
I appreciate you asking, man. Well, I guess I'll pick up where you left off to start it off. So, yeah, our family chat, we be fucking with Tanya really heavy. And we up the ante a little bit by, everybody being on the phone. It was so much fun, man. We would let her talk, and then we added Mama to it. Then we got the cussing. Yeah. Mama was pissed off because the line was long and she was trying to go get a damn salad.
So let me jump in right there. So I don't, no judgment if you do, but we don't usually use profanity around our mom. Just the thing. But the going joke is whenever we're podcasting or recording, it's fair game. So what we'll do is we'll cue the intro of the podcast, and I think I'm gonna download the intro on my phone so I can do so I could just play that up and be ready to go. So when we do this thing, we can mess with her some more. So anyway, I'll let you go back on. So yeah, so we was pre-podcasting.
Yeah, so it was fun, man. And when we do shit like that, Mama's always a great fucking sport about it, man. Because she could really go full-blown mama and knock the shit out of both of us. But, she's a real good sport with it, man. What else is going on? Finally got my car out the shop today. Got the whip back, man. And that bitch is running real good, too. Them guys did a good job. Running real fucking good, man. That's always a plus. My mother-in-law went back to where she was on Tuesday. And, she's missed and everything, but ain't nothing like having your own shit back to yourself.
That's real. That's real.
And so, we're getting back into our old routine of things, which is fucking awesome, because she's been tired as fuck. I've been tired as fuck. On top of that, I had drill last weekend, and we practically been on go since last Wednesday. And it's going to slow down finally tomorrow. So adult and fucking suck.
However, it sucks.
However, I did take time out during drill weekend on my lunch break, went to GameStop and got me a PS5, goddamn.
Damn, must be nice, man. My man got the Xbox and the PS5. And
I went and secured it, man. I had to jump on it. It's funny how I got it because there was a guy in front of me. Then there was a guy at the register already. Then there was a guy on the phone. And I'm like, hey, man, you in line? He's like, no, you good. Go ahead. So I seen the dude grabbing the PlayStation. I said, hey, man, I was wondering if you guys got a PS5. Any more PS5s? He was like, we got one more. You and that man right there are going to have to fight to the death for it. And, I was being real courteous because, that would be some bitch ass shit. I'm like, man, fuck him. I'm at the counter.
Well, that happened to you before, didn't it? With the
just vice versa. It was the Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
But, I was real about the shit. I'm like, bro, you sure you was here before me, man? I'm not going to do you like that. He was like, no, I had to go to the crib and get the money anyway. So I'm like,
The hell you doing in there? Just watching?
All right. I'm like, all right, fuck it. Here's my card. Take it, just like on the TikTok side. Take it.
Did you have uniform on?
I had my uniform.
Oh, he wasn't gonna tell you no. They wasn't gonna let him out of there alive.
But the problem I had with it was, bro hovered over me through my whole transaction. I'm like, all right, this motherfucker might try to stick me up when I go outside. I might have to get ready to beat his motherfucking ass. I beat your ass with this goddamn PlayStation 5. That motherfucker heavy too.
All I'm gonna say is all you gotta do is be like, my life was in danger.
Blah, 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 blah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, but it wasn't none of that. We was, I paid for the warranty and it was a bundle. They were only selling them in bundles. But it was a real good deal because with the bundle, I got like $175 of digital currency for it.
Elden Ring.
I ain't buy that bullshit. What else? I got a year for PlayStation something, the shit you got to pay for every month.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. So I got that shit. I ain't hook it up right away. It took me like 2 days before I hooked it up. There's like this stand that goes with it. And I'm like, I don't feel like reading the fucking directions right now. But I put that motherfucker together, man. Oh, yeah. My anniversary's tomorrow. Yeah, man. 12 years. 12 fucking years, man. So that's tomorrow. We had grand plans. The grand plans fell through like plans fall through sometimes.
Oh, but trust me, I understand. Our 10-year anniversary, my son decided to come 75 days early. So I got you. I get it.
Yeah, man. So, some unforeseeable things happen. So we'll be here at the crib with the youngins, and I'm pretty much going to block off the man cave and stuff and make it all romantical and shit.
Oh, shit.
Post up in here, watch some TVs, get fucked up. Yeah, all that. So I heard you had a clogged pipe.
Let me help you with that.
But no, man. So our anniversary is tomorrow. We're gonna do it. We heading out to Kentucky next week, just to kick it with them and just kind of get out of Mississippi for a minute, because we actually been here since after Christmas, since the beginning of the year. We haven't went nowhere, nothing like that. So. And our family up in Kentucky, they've came down to us like 3 or 4 times. We normally go back and forth. So it's our turn. We're going to go holler at them. Don't worry, bro. Y'all on the list too. So we're going to go do that, man, and have a good time. They said there's a casino like right outside the gate where they stay at. So me and the wife is going to hit up the casino, do like a little mini anniversary day thing.
That's cool.
Week. So, it is what it is, man. Long as she's still here, I'm good with fucking whatever, man. But with that, that's what's best in life.
Cool, man. I got 2 things to add real quick, and I'll consider what's best for both of us, because I don't know if we talked about it, but Queen of the South came on Netflix this week. So
yesterday,
I had to fight everything when the damn screen popped up, and she was like, "I am Teresa Mendoza." I was like,
bro, I read the synopsis of every episode already.
I see. I wouldn't even do that to myself.
I was like, ooh.
I wouldn't even do that to myself. And then also I saw a trailer on YouTube and it was an official trailer. I verified it. Baki is getting another season. So
yes, it needed to. It had to.
Yeah. I was like, well, yeah, because now you get to see Pickle. And that's going to be interesting. I don't know if you ever seen who Pickle is. He's like a kind of Neanderthal type dude or something like that. Strong as shit, so it's gonna be interesting. So good shit.
Yeah, you brought on something else. I gotta add something too. If you were done, I ain't know if you were done.
Yeah, that's it. Just those 2.
So the first thing is, speaking on anime and stuff like that. Kingdom, one of my favorite fucking animes. Season 4 comes out tomorrow. Actually, it's supposed to drop tomorrow. What the site says. So we'll see if that actually happens. I don't know if it's dropping in Japan, then drop here, or how that works, but.
Yeah.
If it's on there, it's on there. If not, I can wait, whatever. And then lastly, the Melanin Warriors podcast Bamber Bridge episode has hit over 4,000 views. Last time I looked, it was like at 4,050. So thank everybody in the fucking UK, man. You guys are fucking awesome, man. And that's what's best in life.
Cool. Shout out to you for that, man. That's dope. That was a good episode too. So.
One of my favorites.
I'm glad they liked it. Yeah. So good. Y'all go check that out. check out the other stuff on there too. There's some good stuff on there too.
Yes, sir. I ain't posted in a minute, but it's coming. I've been.
It happens. It happens. All right, everybody. That's what's best in life. We got more to come. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick this thing off. Let's talk a little bit about something. I'm sure you've heard the term before. It's not a term that you haven't heard. We wanted to reflect on it. I can't remember what made me think about bringing it up, but I wanted to talk about black on black crime and the concept of black on black crime. What are your thoughts on when you hear somebody say something and it's like especially you hear it a lot in retaliation to like police violence or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like you'll hear, but what about black on black crime? So, so what are your thoughts on black on black crime?
First and foremost, the phrase itself, I don't agree with. Black on black crime. Ain't no white on white crime. Ain't no Asian on Asian crime, no shit like that. So it's just another thing to label us, to look at us as some kind of in some kind of stereotypical manner that I don't fucking agree with whatsoever. As far as the crimes happening, I mean, it happens in every race. They just put a fucking label on ours. It happens, and we don't even do it to ourselves more than other people do it to themselves. I mean, check the numbers. And as far as my personal belief on it, going beyond the labeling or whatever, it's crazy. Like, to an extent, I try my best not to engage in physical altercations with my own people these days, because that's not what we need to do. Mm-hmm. You know, we need to try to come together as much as possible. You know, when I see somebody, I'm like, hey, what's going on, my brother? You know, stuff like that. You know, just show them a little courtesy, respect, and shit like that. But sometimes you gotta wreck a motherfucking face. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I can't be Nelson Mandela or anybody like that. Sometimes you just gotta rock them. But however, the stupidity of it is the problem I have. You'll shoot a motherfucker over a $20 dice game. You'll beat a motherfucker up for stepping on your shoes. You'll beat a motherfucker up because he cheated with your baby mama and he didn't know that was your baby mama. But you still gonna fight this man for the shit. That one right there, I never understood, because you mad at the dude. For what? For what?
Yeah.
You should be mad at her ass. I ain't saying gonna beat her up, but you know.
Right.
That's just one of those other things that kind of goes into the black on black crime, if you will. Is instance like that, and it's stupid, man. There's gonna be some confrontation. Of course, there's gonna be confrontations, man. I mean, we're confrontational people. We don't really take shit, most of us. 60%, 51. Percent of us don't take no shit from nobody. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get that shit, honest. But we don't know how to channel that, because the same way we'll pop off on Leroy, we won't pop off on Brad like that. See what I'm saying?
Brad can get that work.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But,
I'll just call a lawyer.
Like, you know, some people will he'll tell a joke and he'll get pissed off at Leroy, but Brad tell the same joke. Oh yeah, fuck you, motherfucker. No, straight.
We are not going to talk about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock.
Yeah, let's go ahead and just put that out there, because no, we're not doing that. I'm so sick of hearing about this shit. But yeah, my honest opinion and my final opinion is we need to fucking stop it. We need to stop giving these fucking these media whores, if that's what you want to call them, or these racists and the back to blues and the all life matter people more fucking ammunition by looking ignorant, because every step of the way they looking for that shit. They don't want to see us, you know what I'm saying, getting along hand in hand. They want to see the black on black crime. They want to see the shit they see in the movies all the time. Either we thugs or we slaves or some shit. That's what the fuck they want to see. And when they don't see us like that, that shit don't make the news.
You're right about
that much. You'll get a couple on the slot through. That shit won't make the news quicker than two chicks fighting in Waffle House. That should be everywhere.
Oh, man.
Or the melanin chick that beat up the white girl, Little Caesars. I think that was in Augusta.
Yeah, it was.
Beat her up. That shit made fucking.
Yeah, that shit made national news, because Grandma asked me about it.
Wow, you got, you know, Quentin, prime example. He's in the community and, you know, giving back, teaching the kids, you know, and you know, promoting fun with the clubs and everything like that. But you won't show that, because there's no propaganda in the positive melanin man or a positive melanin woman. There's nothing there. It's not good news. And then us as people, you know what I'm saying, our people, we look at it the same way. Oh, it's fighting, I'm all over that shit. Or but because you said we want to talk about Will Smith, Chris Rock, and we're not. But look how that fucking took our people took that shit. They were, oh, if it was me, all right, this is the final thing I got to say about the Chris Rock thing. Okay, now this is what really happened, and all this other shit. Shut the fuck up. But anyway, black on black crime needs to stop. I don't like using the term. I don't even use the term. I forgot where I heard it, but they don't say no other race when it's same race crime. So that term needs to stop being used as well. What do you think, sir?
I agree with you completely. So when you look at crime and look at just the statistics of crime, a lot of times crime, more than any race on race, the correlation is usually proximity. And so if you think about usually, if you want to go to like the hood and take that as an example, because that's always like, you know, when you hear shit, when they talk about like stuff, what about Chicago? You know what I mean? Yeah. And granted, there are issues with what's going on with shit that goes on in Chicago. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to minimize that at all. But the distinction that I want to make is that a lot of times crime is a function of proximity and lack. And that's lack of what you have. And you're going to rob somebody to try to get what you don't have. And if it ends up violent, it ends up violent. And a lot of times you're going to do it with somebody close to you. You're not going to go 8 cities over to go hit up the suburbs and shit like that. If you are, you know what I'm saying? So with that, you have to look at that. And then when you look at the statistics of crime, because of that proximity, you know, especially not only proximity in geographic sense, but proximity in acquaintance or the people you know what I'm saying? People are more likely to commit a crime with somebody who they may know, who they may feel that they have wronged them, like somebody who steps on your shoes that you've seen in the club and y'all travel in similar circles and shit like that. I mean, and you look at that happens across all races. And it's one of those things, again, it's a term, let's put a label on it to make it seem like it's so bad. Oh, it's black on black crime. But if you look at if you parse out crime by race and who the perpetrator and who the victim are, it's going to be a higher probability that it's going to be the same race. Because, you know, if you are a white man and you shoot your mom, it happens in news all the time, or you shoot, you know, your father-in-law who happens to be white. Is that white on white crime? Did you shoot him because he was white? Did you shoot him because he was white? Or did you shoot him because of an altercation? Conversely, just like if like the story you just gave, where a brother goes in, his baby mom is cheating with another dude and he shoots them all and they happen to be black. Is it because they were black, or is it because of their proximity and who they are to each other and the relationship in that? And that happens, and those are commonalities across all races. And then if you look at like mass shootings and shit like that, let's take a mass shooting where a white guy kills a whole bunch of other white people. Is that white on white crime? Is that what we want to call that? Are we labeling that? Or are we just labeling a mass shooting or school shooting or whatever the case may be? So glad we're not monetized sometimes, because some shit you just can't say, or you may choose not to say if you give a damn about being monetized or not. And then on the other side of that, I mean, in the news going around and on the internet, there was a white chick who stabbed her black boyfriend, allegedly. I'll say allegedly. I don't know if you heard about that. And the friends are like, oh, she was toxic, she abused him and all that shit. Is that white on black crime? Do we want to label it that way? Or just like the white dude that shot the people in the church a few years back? Is that white on black crime? Do we describe it that way? No, we don't. So why do we have to make that label? And we do it to ourselves too. And that's where we need to stop. So if we stop doing it, and we'll get on like wielding power later on tonight, but if we wield the power that we have and what we call certain things and what we label and what we won't stand for, you know what I'm saying? Then we can start to fix those problems, and we can look at how to address those problems and look at other causes to those problems in the community that are not causing black on black crime, but causing crime, period, in particular proximities. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I see it. You know, I don't see like, I think the term is, again, like you said, it's a buzzword. It's a way to get people riled up. It's the scapegoat a lot of times too. Just like I was saying, like when people are like, oh, but police brutality, police are killing us. But what about black on black crime? And it's a bad faith argument, really. I mean, because shit's just both of them are equally wrong. We don't necessarily have to label it. It just frustrates me to no end that we try to label that and they use that as a scapegoat. Like, come with a better argument. What you got? And then I hate like slightly skewing it. It's not really related, but it's kind of related. The argument that pisses me off to no end is black people make up 13% of the population, but commit the majority of the crime. First of all, your stupid ass doesn't understand statistics.
Right, because that's not true.
That is not true. Now, what is true is they're statistically more likely to be charged with a crime. Doesn't mean they committed a crime. It doesn't mean they were arrested of a crime or went to jail for a crime. And we've talked about false imprisonment, like that young brother. I cannot think of his name. There's a Netflix documentary on that brother. He got him about a backpack or some shit, and he spent so much time in solitary confinement and ended up killing himself. Come to find out, he didn't do anything. And there's stories like that across the country. And if you were to, like, in my world, when we deal with statistics, you remove those outliers. And if you remove those false convictions, and I'll even be generous and just say those that have been proven to be false, I bet you those numbers start to even out. I would put money on that shit. And that's what people who don't understand statistics and just go with talking points. And that's the shit that frustrates me about all that shit. So if you want to use the term black on black crime, come see me. I'll tell you where you're wrong. If you still don't want to talk about it, you can come kiss my ass and we'll move on from there. So you got anything else for it?
Hashtag stop saying black on black crime. I think y'all gonna start seeing that on social media real soon.
I would say hashtag black on black crime doesn't exist.
Oh, with the fire. I like that one better. But we're gonna start this movement eventually.
But
we're gonna seriously start this movement, man. Mm-hmm. I hate that fucking term. It shouldn't exist. We're the only people in this country that it exists for. Mm-hmm. So the shit needs to stop.
What do you guys think about it? Especially somebody who believes that it is a concept. I love to debate that topic. I don't mind if somebody who believes something different than me. I had that debate. We can do that right here on the show. We can do it on Instagram Live. It'll be fun. I don't do Twitter like that, so we can't do Twitter space. All right, let us know what you guys think. Love to hear that.
Yep. All right, so it's springtime, ladies and gentlemen. The birds are chirping, the bees are out, mosquitoes biting my ass.
Although based on this dumbass weather, you can't tell what.
That is very fucking true. We have a tornado scare every week for the past like 3 weeks.
That's true.
Like fuck. But it's also that time for our motorcyclists to be out and about on this road, man. And there's in my mind, there's two different kinds of motorcyclists. I'll get into that when it's my section of this one, man. But what do you think about watching out for motorcyclists? If I'm saying that right, being a motorcycle guy yourself.
Mm-hmm. You should do it. That'd be in the discussion. Point blank. Period. Keep an eye out. So what I will say is there's a study that's done where it talks about like what you see and what you don't see, and like a lot of times what happens is a motorcycle is hit when it's like a motorcycle's going straight and a car is turning in the intersection because they don't see them, or they say they don't see them. The argument from the motorcyclist is always, how the fuck did you not see me? Whatever the case may be. But what the study proves is like when you're checking both sides or whatever, what the brain does is it doesn't take the full picture. It takes part of the picture and fills in the rest. And because you don't usually see motorcycles, you don't fill that piece of picture in, and that's how you missed it. I mean, hell, even me as a motorcycle once or twice, it's like, oh shit, there is a motorcycle right there. And I'm actively looking for motorcycles when I'm riding because it's like, what they got? But it still happened. So you got to be extra careful both as the rider and both as in the motorcycle community, they call them cagers, but car drivers. So
cagers.
Exactly. It's almost derogatory half the time.
Uh-oh, we're about to be divided again. Something else. Way to go, Lamar.
Oh no, that's been that way forever.
Two wheels versus four.
Oh yeah. 4 wheels move the body, 2 wheels move the soul. That's what they say. So anyway, as a motorcyclist, we have to be more careful, understanding that a lot of times people aren't going to see us. So we have to be hyper vigilant when we're riding. And that's part of what you're taught, not just hitting the corners, hitting the throttle, shifting gears, all that shit. It's also road awareness, who's where, what they doing, are they paying attention? So not only do we need to watch out, we need to watch out for the folks on the road, but it will go so much further if those that are watching out for us, like when somebody tailgates a motorcycle, or even me as a motorcyclist, when somebody tailgates me in a car, it's one thing. It's like, yo, get off my bumper, you bitch. But in a motorcycle, it's the scariest shit in the world because, one slam on brakes in a construction zone and you fucked. I mean, I've seen videos where it's like somebody sitting at a red light and a truck comes in and it's you. And granted, I mean, there's some things you can do as a motorcycle to help reduce your risk, but still, pay attention, man. Look out for us. Keep an eye out. And I will say, there are those motorcyclists that give us a bad name, that are weaving in and out of traffic, doing silly shit. I mean, because I've even had motorcyclists, like usually when I see them and I'm driving, I'll kind of give them some space, or if I know there's a good opening in front of me, I'll flag them on and tell them go ahead, or whatever the case may be, just out of that courtesy. And even when I'm riding, some of the times, if I'm just chilling and I see like a CBR trying to get it behind me, or what else? Another sport bike. I drew a blank real quick. A YZ. Shit. Why did I can't remember? I don't really care about sport bikes, so I don't really know them. A S1000 RR. Yeah. So I know that one. And well, not even a Ninja, but a ZX10R or some shit like that. So if you see one of them coming up on you as a motorcycle, I just scoot over and be like, "Hey, man, you got it. Come on, go ahead." So giving that courtesy, and I would recommend that everybody at least spend some time on a motorcycle, because one, you appreciate the road, you appreciate motorcycling, you'll look out a little better, and it's just a different experience. And I think as a motorcyclist, it makes me a better driver in road awareness, because I'll see like, oh, that person is eating a fucking sandwich, let me get away from them, because if that tomato falls out the sandwich, they might swerve over some shit. Like, yeah. So you just watching out for that, or somebody's on the phone, or if you see two people in the car, and somebody's like, okay, let's go over here and get the fuck away from them. So
crash, like, let me see what the fuck they talking about.
Right. And so that you just got to focus on what you're doing, and you don't have the same flexibility that you do in a car. Like, you don't have forgiveness for a mistake, if you will, in a car, because you're on 2 wheels and you don't have the cage, if you will, the crash bars and all that shit to protect you in the event of a crash. I mean, granted, they do make motorcyclist airbags and shit now to help some, but there ain't nothing you can do if a damn Suburban rear ends you at a stoplight. You just hope you prayed up and got life insurance.
Car tire in the middle of the fucking highway.
Yeah. That, like I told you when that shit happened to you, as a motorcyclist, that's a fear, because that, and like a semi, if you ever seen a semi kick a tire up, and I don't want to be on no Final Destination shit. So what do you think as a anti-motorcycle rider? Said ain't no way in the hell you gonna ride a motorcycle. So
I like doors, man. I like fucking doors. That's what I think. I like fucking doors. Mm-hmm. But that is a very valid point on not being able to like see them, not just motorcycles, but sometimes your picture in your mind is something else, and then you didn't see that car a few seconds ago, but that car's there, right? That same kind of concept.
Yeah.
And I didn't think of it like that, because sometimes I don't be seeing these motherfuckers, but I hear it. So when I hear a fucking motorcycle coming or approaching or whatever, I kind of get extra aware about my surroundings when I'm driving. I'm like, all right, it's a bike here somewhere. Because not just for the motorcyclists, but these new cars ain't worth a fuck as far as the little fiber optic metal shit that they got on there. It ain't real fucking iron and shit.
Real fiber optic.
Yeah, it's like fiberglass. It's not real fucking metal. It's just plastic. And you get T-boned by a fucking motorcycle. You and the motorcyclist is probably gonna get fucked up.
Now, I will say from personal experience, if you T-bone a Cadillac, you might break a window and then a door. Personal experience, just saying. Go ahead.
But yeah, you definitely gotta watch out for him. Yeah, you got all the protective gear. I done seen you ride your bike and suit up and shit, looking like a fucking Power Ranger with leather on.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
But all the safety shit. But you still gotta be mindful if you're a motorcyclist. Cause I'm not one, but yeah, the dumb shit that really gets me. You in traffic on the highway and you're just like, I have no sympathy for you if a fucking Dodge Durango or some shit just comes and wipes your motherfucking ass right off the goddamn freeway. Because you doing dumb shit. That's your fault. Like we say on this fucking show all the time. Play stupid games, win fucking stupid prizes, and you gonna fucking win, keep driving like that. But the ones that's just cruising, I actually respect them. I'm like, oh man, check them out. Boy, they just riding. And the motherfuckers with the music on their shit that likes to rev they shit in front of like Chili's or some shit like that. Go sit your motherfucking ass down. We get it. You got a bike. As soon as that bitch went, grrr. Yes, it's a bike, sir. We know. All the and you bluffing, and it's always a motherfucker bumping fucking Charlie Wilson. It's always some old brother on his fucking bike bumping Charlie Wilson. I don't know why, but as they did.
See, I either see some old shit like that or fucking heavy metal or some shit like that. But go ahead.
Like, I get it. We see y'all. You know what I'm saying? We got it. That's how people get robbed doing stuff like that. But that's besides the point. But I really ain't got much to say because I'm not a motorcyclist at all. Because like I said, I like four doors. I like the what's them shits called? People ride around with like over.
Not motorcycles.
Polaris is
not the slingshot. Not a motorcycle.
Yeah, I like those. I like those. That's about as close as I get. But
that's still a car.
I like doors.
It's a car.
Fuck off, man. But
fuck car.
Ultimately, my brother's a fucking motorcyclist. Y'all look out for motorcyclists out there. And don't be an asshole just because the guy on the motorcycle is being an asshole and like try to hit brakes and all that other shit. Because you can actually kill this man, even though he's being stupid, asking for death himself while he's driving. Don't help it along. Now, if you just riding and he just, yep, a simple motherfucker, that's what you get.
Yeah, now I've seen cases where like a motorcycle is doing that shit and the lane ends and they fuck themselves up. So, I mean, I've seen that before. So, ain't nothing the car driver could have done about that. That's all on the motorcycle.
And then, because going that fast, sure, it's impossible for you to be aware of every single thing when you're going that fast. So, gotta look out for them, my fellow car riders.
That's right. Please do.
That's
Make it safe. Man. All right, everybody. Let's have this last topic. So I'm sure, or you may or may not have seen some of the news lately with some of the founders and higher ups in the BLM organization getting in all kind of trouble for mishandling some of those campaign funds or some of those donation funds. And depending on where you look, I mean, I've seen everywhere from they've got 60 million to 10 billion in donations. So, I mean, it's somewhere in there, but the most consistent number I've seen is like 90 million. So for the sake of discussion, we'll roll with 90 million as the number. With that being said, what do you think about the organization and the organization at one, and then the issues with them and dealing with the money or the basically lining their pockets and supporting their lifestyles?
Now, in the beginning of the Black Lives Matter movement or whatever, I was all for it. I was with it. I was, let me give me some Black Lives Matter stuff. Oh, if you ain't with Black Lives Matter, you're a fucking racist. Like, when it first came out. But as I was seeing different incidents transpire and having different conversations, because that's something that we can do, not just us, but the way we are, how our personalities set up. We like to hear other people's fucking opinions.
Sure. Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Debate about that shit, or maybe even just fuck with them a little bit just to rile them up. So, after having all these conversations, it started to make me think. And then when you said something about their mission statement, and I went to their mission statement on their site, and I was like, the fuck? And then when I seen that the Black Lives Matter, one of the head guys, I guess, in Atlanta, that albino dude that was on the Killer Mike show got locked up for misappropriation of funds, basically, or some shit like that. And then, you know, I started looking at them differently again. After all these years since BLM been out, I still agree with the Black Lives Matter, not the organization at all, but the actual phrase, the whatever you want to call it, that Black Lives Matter, because in this country they have never mattered. So I fucking I live that. I'm with that. But the actual organization, I mean, they're full of shit. I think my personal opinion is they're government funded, and it's
a lot of people think that.
Yeah, another tool to further separate us because they don't show up. They don't show up to be proactive, like how the Black Panther Party did it back in the day, and some are still doing it. You know, when they started WIC in schools and everything like that, Black Lives Matter isn't doing it. They wait till some shit to pop off, and then they all over social media talking about it's going to be blood in the streets and all this other stupid shit. Like the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. Why the fuck was Black Lives Matter there? They had no reason to be there. That wasn't a fight. That ain't had nothing to do with us. But they was there for the rhetoric of it, I guess you could say. The publicity and all the other shit to make Black Lives Matter look like the bad guys, I guess. Or, you know, just to cause ratings to go up on CNN and Fox News. I don't know what the fuck they really fucking doing. And as far as the money, because I read some of it, and my whole thing with the mansion, for instance, is if they was planning on setting that shit up as the headquarters of BLM, like they claimed, and you know that was going to be their compound for all the goodness they were trying to do and rah, they went and had to go through all these underhanded, sneaky shits like they're in the fucking mafia and shit and got a construction company while fucking Antonio is over there in Mama's kitchen shooting somebody in the fucking face. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. You still with me? Did I lose you?
Nah, you good. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. But instead, they're doing all these little sneaky things that make you look at it like, what the fuck are they really doing? Not just that, but the other ones that already got jammed up because of this old money scandal thing. And it's ridiculous. And if they really about that shit, instead of buying mansions and the cars and all this other shit that they
trips
and fucking trips, they need to be setting the people up. That this is a lot of fucking money to set up the people you're supposed to be fighting for, and they're not fucking doing it. And I think that's my biggest fucking problem with it, is they're not doing it. Look at all these protests these motherfuckers have been to for people getting unjustly incarcerated and all this other shit. Y'all got the funds through all these donations. That's what these donations were for. It's to help the people, but you're helping yourself. And that's a problem. But that's also how the system is fucking set up. Because for us to be fucking selfish, and they know most of us is gonna fucking bite when the fucking money comes. So
it ain't just us, man. That ain't just this. That's a greed is across all.
Well, I'm just talking about us because we are who we are.
I'm sure.
Negro.
You mad,
not at all. I'm really disappointed in the organization. I'm really disappointed in the leaders and how they're using these funds. Because I mean, for example, the HBCUs, man, they having fucking issues financially across the board. Been having issues across the board. That 90 million, bro, that could set some shit up for a few of these fucking schools, and you still ain't broke. So it's a crock of shit. I can't put it no other way. The organization is a crock of shit. How about you, sir?
All right, so I'm gonna take it. I agree with you completely. Let me get my phone because I took some pictures of some shit. So I'm with you. When it came out, it was like, oh, Black Lives Matter. Yes, indeed, they do. I understand where we're going with this.
He understood the sign. Hey, Tanya.
Right. So I went, and the first thing I did is I went to their site, and their mission has changed, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. But their mission, hold on, that's the wrong one. So their mission was something, and I'm just going to pick some. We acknowledge, respect, and celebrate the differences and commonalities, justice for all, by Black people and by extension, all people, regardless of, we'll see. So we are guided by the fact that Black Lives Matter, regardless of actual or perceived sexual identity, gender expression, and also more stuff. We make space for transgender brothers and sisters to participate and lead. We set reflexive work required to dismantle cisgender privilege and uplift Black trans folk. We build space that affirms Black women free from sexism. Let's see, what was another one the one that I really wanted to get at? Where is it?
all the right things to take these folks' money.
I can't find it right now. It's in here somewhere, but I don't want to be looking through it. So they talked about like the patriarchal system and dismantling the nuclear family and all this other shit. And that was one that they really got heat on because it was like, what was this a result of? This was the genesis of it was primarily triggered around what happened to George Floyd. And if you look, if you look at all that shit I just read, I mean, it's before that, but those types of issues are what started it.
Right.
Or I'll say George Floyd is what brought it into the consciousness. I'll say that. But when I saw all this shit on there, it was like all this, and I see it at work all the time. We call it scope creep, where they want to do all these things, but it's like there are issues in there that, you know, I agree. I mean, you know, if you're a trans person, you shouldn't fear for your life. I mean, that's real shit. I don't disagree with that. But is that the fight of an organization claiming to be Black Lives Matter? I mean, yes, there are Black trans people, and that should be considered, but that kind of became the focus. And it was like, okay, when you hear people in the streets, they're talking about, you know, Black men getting killed at the hands of police officers primarily. That shit ain't in the list nowhere. And when I looked at it, and, you know, being who I am, I've done projects and led teams and shit. And, you know, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People begin with the end in mind and shit like that. And when you look at it, you see they had no goals, no structure, no concrete plans. Like, how can you identify a win? And when you look at that shit on the site, there's nothing there tangible that can show like, we got this done, we got this done, we got this done, we got this done, we got this done. It's just these nebulous terms where you can collect all this money. And because these terms are so vague and generic, you ain't really got to do shit and claim progress because, you know, you got people putting black squares on their Instagram page or shit like that. You know what I mean? Which does absolutely nothing. And my whole thing was they got all this fucking money, kind of like you talked about. And I want to give a couple examples of organizations that do things differently. And an example, whether you agree with it or not, with the shit that's going on with Disney in Florida, and you look at the LGBTQ plus organizations, I looked at what they were asking of Disney for their walkout. It says immediately cease all donations to these politicians and gives a list of them. It says, and it had like concrete things. So it was like, okay, check. And that's the difference between whether you agree with the mission or not. That's the thing. You have measurable criteria that you can measure the shit on. And they didn't have that. They never had that. And that's where it was like, oh, you got money. And I'll give you another example. Have you ever heard of the organization Black Guns Matter?
Yeah, actually, I see.
With ran by Maj Toure. Mm-hmm. And if you listen to that brother talk, he's like, I want $1 million because what I want to do is in Philly, I want to put a facility there where people can come, they can learn firearm safety, how to handle firearms, get their concealed carry and do all that shit. And it's not cost prohibitive because if you understand gun laws and you understand like the racist undertones to them, you'll understand why that's a more tangible goal than anything on that Black Lives Matter page. And that was the flaw that they had. And I'll give you another example while I got more notes is I went to their site today to see what they want and what they stand for today. And they have 7 things on there. And they want to convict and ban Trump from future political office, expel Republican members of Congress who attempted to overturn the election and incite white supremacist attack, launch a field and get investigation into January 6th, permanently ban Trump from all digital media platforms, defund the police, don't let the coup be used as an excuse to crack down on our movement, and a couple other things. And that's all based on Trump and January 6th. Let's say they achieve those goals. What does that do for me as a Black person? It doesn't do a fucking thing. And that's where it's that shell game, that sleight of hand, that trick move that they pulled to get all this money. And really what happened, in my opinion, is it was a lot of preying on white guilt. I mean, I'm just gonna call a spade. And, you know, you got these well-meaning white people that are like, yo, we want to do something. We don't know what to do. There's this organization, Black Lives Matters in the name. Let me cut them some checks to help them do their mission. And they fucking buying rental properties and houses and taking trips and shit like that. And that wasn't the mission. And with that money, you could have done so much in certain areas. I mean, and it's not gonna fix everything. Don't get me wrong. But if my man Maj Toure is taking Philly with $1 million and has plans for that, 90 times that, you can just imagine what they could do. You could pick like certain cities. You could like fucking make a, like we talked about in the first topic, where what they consider like inner city crime and shit like that. And I say it's based on scarcity and shit. Fix those issues. Put a fucking Kroger in the middle of the hood in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So they can get good food.
Yeah, they could have gave old boy the $1 million to start his shit in fucking Philly.
Exactly. I mean, there's all kind of shit.
That togetherness.
There's all that kind of shit they could do. How the fuck does January 6th fuck with me as a black man? You know what I'm saying? Like, do I agree with the shit? The shit was terrible. That's not your mission. That's not your fight. And that's where you had that scope creep. Or are you trying to do too many things? Or, I mean, because some people's criticism is that it's basically a front for Democratic people or Democratic billionaires, whatever. And then when you look at it, it's like, okay,
I can see it.
I can kind of see where you're coming from with that. And it doesn't work to solve the issue. I mean, I was listening to a podcast the other day. It was like, what are you doing to help Black people get money, get jobs, get training, get capital, get land? Those are the kind of things that once you start getting those things, you start to wield power and have, say so in elections, or getting people financially literate, getting people politically savvy so they can like run and vote in these elections and not just say rock the boat. I'll give you another example of how the money shit goes. There was one of the local chapters. They were like, yo, we need y'all support for something happened. I can't remember what the event, what thing they were going to protest for. They were like, yo, we need your support. And they were like, y'all stand down because we have another event scheduled that day. Come to find it was some bullshit where they were doing the electric slide to stomp out white supremacy on fucking YouTube, sponsored by UGG. I mean, Uggs, the boots. Yeah, I mean, what kind of dumb shit is that? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you really doing? And that's the kind of shit that kills me. It was like, okay, you have these businesses here. What did you do with it but line your pockets? And again, I am not against people getting money. What I am against is you taking a cause that should have been just, that should have been well-serving for us all, and using it for your own selfish intentions. And it's not just a Black thing that happens. All races do that. And I'm sure you can look at different situations, but this is what we're talking about, BLM right now, because, that's what we want to talk about. And that's the shit that kills me, is just, you see all this shit going on and they got all this money, and you can't name one fucking thing that they got to show for any of that money that benefited anybody. Even when you got like the fucking families of like some of the victims of some of these police killings or whatever the case may be. And they're like, yo, I don't fuck with them.
Yeah, and just about all of them has like, they do the anniversary of their son or husband or whatever.
Well, I think like Tamir Rice's mom was like, I don't fuck with them.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's the shit that it's like, you got to look at that shit, people, and realize what they were doing. And, if you were well-meaning and you donated the money, I'm sorry, at least you can claim it on your taxes.
Yeah, your heart's in the right place.
Your heart's in the right place. But yeah, I mean, do a little more research, especially when your money's involved. And don't just be like, yo, let me just throw a couple $100 and I've done my part. I'm a good citizen, or whatever the hell it may be. Just go from there. I mean, it's one of those things where they had millions of dollars that they could have actually done something with. And from 2020 to now, you can't name me one beneficial thing that they did. And that right there, if nothing else, is a failure of that organization. Now, there are some people in some of the local chapters and shit that's doing good work and trying, but there was even a letter from like some of the local chapters that was like, yo, we not getting, basically they wasn't getting money from corporate. And as soon as I heard that shit, I was like, yeah, this is going to fail. This is going to end up ugly. And we starting to see shit. Motherfuckers getting indicted. Motherfuckers getting their records open. You find the emails. You find the properties and shit. Like again, that $6 million house in fucking California. Was that the best use of your money? Let's say, like, because in my job, there's certain things that I can't do for the perception of impropriety. You know what I'm saying? Not even that is not above board, but it's that perception. And that's the shit that you should have been running that filter through. Does this look bad? Even if we had the right intentions, granted, it seemed like they were trying to make those intentions happen to cover their ass. And that's the fucked up shit. But It's terrible, man. And I hate that organization was so prominent and so full of shit and fucked over so many people and wasted so much money. And I wonder where it's all at. I really do. That's all I got on this. And my cigar just went out again. It's chilly out here. So, you got anything else to add?
Man, I just want to say, like you mentioned earlier, for the people that have donated and their heart's in the right place, just be mindful that you don't have to donate a single dime to these types of organizations just because you want to be part of the movement. You want to be part of the fight to make sure our people are treated equally in this country of ours. You can do that shit simply like I said. Call the man next to your brother. You know what I'm saying? Gather some kids that's just fucking off and like, hey man, what the fuck y'all doing? Check this shit out. Volunteer.
That's real places.
Shit. It wasn't volunteer work. I was getting paid, but I really liked being cadre for the youth challenge. I felt like that was me actually pushing some positivity back in to our community, because most of these kids grew up how they grew up, and it's not just and it's not just one race. That was the good thing about it.
Yeah.
And it's about promoting and building up your people, or promoting and building up the youth. Like, you can't look at this shit Black Lives Matter doing this, sending the wrong message out there. Like, it's if I do a couple of protests and start a little movement to go against whatever's going on, maybe I can get a mansion too, which is the wrong fucking thought process to fucking have. But I think about myself when I'm like 12, 13, if I was to see some shit like that. It's, oh man, all I gotta do is get down with Black Lives Matter and I can fucking get me a motherfucking mansion. Yeah. Like, instead of actually doing something for the fucking people. And shout out to Janae the other brother, James, because he's the one that actually posed the question, posed the statement saying, what do I think about Black Lives Matter? And they seem to be more reactive than proactive. And that's when I started to really think about, the Black Lives Matter movement. That's why it also pays to listen to somebody else. You can't be too fucking headstrong and devout to something, because once you're that fucking devout, you're going to end up getting fucked over some kind of way.
You had the blinders on. Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, you got to take them bitches off and see everything, man. And that's really all I got.
Yeah. So let us know what you guys think about the organization. I will say, if I see All Lives Matter in the comments, I'll block you after I clown you.
Yeah, we're gonna put your name in lights on this because we got to get your ass. I've been debating with people on TikTok the past week, man. That shit's fun.
That sounds like a waste of time.
No, it's actually fun.
You have fun.
I'll tell you more about that.
We'll talk about that later.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hope you've enjoyed the show. It's time for our final cigar check-in. I see you still smoking good. As you can see, mine's been out for a little while. But how's your smoke? How's your drink, bro?
Drink is good. I like the Basil Hayden. Like I said, it's the first rye that I've ever had that I've really liked. So I'll get it again. It's definitely in the rotation. The Prensado. So what's weird about this one this time is the first third was okay. The second third was like where all the good shit was. And then the final third where I'm in now, it's like, it's okay. It's like the second third, but turned down. So it was like it had to wake up, and now we're starting to fall back to sleep. And that's kind of where it's at now. So good cigar in the middle. And it could just be this one, because I've had some and I really thought they were amazing. So, here's what it is. What about you, man? I know yours is gone.
All right. First of all, don't judge me. I'm about to say it. You're going to make a fucking face. And everybody that's watching is going to make a fucking face. But near the end of the cigar, it kind of reminded me of a Hot Pocket. Hear me out.
I got it. Go ahead.
So, because at one point, it was burning real good on the inside, still burning. But the outside was just sitting there. So it was like really stupid looking and retarded. Like, I'll even show you, man. Like, even when I put it out, this is how it ended being put out.
I don't even know what I'm looking at right now.
That was the rest of my damn cigar.
So I thought you were, the way you were making it seem, it almost sounded like it was tunneling.
I don't know what the fuck it did near the end.
That shit just looks like a damn stepped on dog turd or something. I don't know what
the hell that is. I don't know what that shit did at the end. And I didn't like smash it. I just kind of, put it out like I would put a cigarette out and just leave it like I do my other cigars. But that one didn't go that well. But it smoked okay. The pull or whatever was snug throughout. But I mean, it wasn't as bad as that last one where I fucked around and said some things I shouldn't have said. But It was good. And then the scotch, man, this shit is actually really fucking delicious, man. Like, it's really fucking smooth.
Scotch life.
You know, and it's only 40 proof, so I can like drink this shit almost all day and be fine.
Don't drink it all day. Scotch hit a little different.
I ain't gonna drink it.
Scotch hit a little different.
Those jokes. I got about 10 more years, then I'm gonna start doing that shit all day. But I ain't gonna have nothing else to do.
Better find a hobby or something. Go pick up adult coloring or some shit.
No, I got a couple business ventures gonna keep me busy. All in all, man, my accessories was okay. It was all right. I want to go with something a little potent for the next one. So when we record next time, it's probably gonna be the other percentage or something. Yeah, that was my accessories, man.
Cool. All right, everybody. That's another one. Oh shit, we didn't even bring it up. This is episode 60.
Oh shit, is it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hell yeah. Shit.
Congratulations to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations to you as well. Nice flag you got back there.
Thank you. Yes. It's the Nanny Creations, made it.
Oh, hell yeah. So with that, it's another one. You got anything for the people before we roll out?
Do your research on shit before you spend your money on it. My people, not just my melanin people, but all people, stop using the term black on black crime. We're gonna put a fucking hashtag together real soon. We're gonna stop this shit. Because enough is fucking enough of that. Other than that, man, you guys keep enjoying your fucking accessories. For some of y'all, it's spring break. Shout out to everybody that's been at the Masters this weekend.
Yes, sir.
And hey, that's all I got, man.
All right, I don't really have anything for anybody, but my usual. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And I'm gonna add some new shit. Read a book.
Oh, read a book.
That's what I'll say. And with that, again, Fowl Language, we out. Episode 60 in the books.
Sir.
See y'all later.
Perfect.